Meet Gi-hun, a lovable loser who is dead broke. In fact, he's worse than broke. He owes a ton of money to a bunch of bad people. He has a daughter who he loves very much and doesn't care that he has no money. But unfortunately, his ex-wife and her new husband are moving to America. Gi-hun will never see his daughter again unless he can get more money. So now, like he's most desperate, the stranger comes up to him. "Hey man, wanna play a game? I've got a bunch of money here I'm willing to bet," playing the classic envelope flipping game. Gi-hun's like, "Yo, I've got no money to wager," but this guy's like, "That's fine. How about you wager slaps in the face?" Gi-hun figures he can get slapped a few times in exchange for some cash, and eventually he wins. This guy pays, and it's like, "Hey, if you ever want to play more games, give me a call." So Gi-hun does, and he's picked up by a mysterious van that instantly hits him with the knockout gas. He wakes up in a green jumpsuit in a huge dormitory full of people. They're being watched by a Hunger Games type control room and the mysterious masked front man running things. The workers here all wear these pink jumpsuits with different shapes on their face masks, and they explain, "Hey, welcome to the games. If you make it to the end, you win a buttload of cash." And right away, it's time for the first game. They walk there through this crazy staircase room. They go to a big fake field with this robot little girl. Yeah, turns out the games they're playing are classic kids' playground games. This one is red light, green light. We have this in America. And remember, you gotta run when she says green light and stop when she says red light. If you're caught moving during red light, you're out. But in this case, bam, a shot rings out. Yeah, us viewers saw this one coming a mile away, but the players are very surprised to learn these are children's playground games to the death. They all panic and start running, which is exactly what you're not allowed to do during red light. And so about half the players are eliminated immediately, as we're left with just the half that got the memo. As the clock is winding down, no, he trips, but oh, he's caught by this random nice guy. So they make it across just in time. Squid Game's not messing around. So afterwards, everyone's begging, "Please let us go," but it's like, "Hey, you're not kidnapped. Everything's above board here, and remember, in the contracts you signed, if 50% of you vote to go home, the games will end." But just so you know what you're playing for, he lowers the big piggy bank, and with all those players eliminated, it starts filling up with cash. Yeah, winners get out of here with a lot of money. So they have the vote to end the games. Gi-hun's like, "Hell no, I don't want to die." But a lot of the other players looking at that money, they vote to stay. The tie-breaking vote is this old man, and he votes no. All right, they're going home. So they're dumped on the side of the road, but now back in the real world, things have gotten worse for Gi-hun as his mom's real sick. Every country should really have free universal healthcare. And every player has people they care about on the outside and problems that a bunch of money would fix. And so almost all of them decide to toe back into the games. So Gi-hun's made some friends in here. The first one was the old man, who is player 1. Gi-hun's the last number 456. He's a sweet old guy who's dying of a brain tumor. Coincidentally, also in here is Gi-hun's childhood best friend, Sang-woo. Sang-woo's real smart. He went to business school and became a rich finance guy, but the more you make, the more you can lose. And there's the nice guy who saved Gi-hun. It's Ali from Pakistan. When they were out, Sang-woo gave him bus fare to get home, so he's made a friend for life. Then there's Duck-soo, the tough guy gangster, and he's got beef with this girl Sebok. But Gi-hun recognizes her because she pickpocketed earlier, so he's got beef with her too. There's also this crazy girl who is hilariously annoying, but she kinda grows on you. Now while he was out, Gi-hun of course went to the cops, but they just think he's crazy. But this one detective saw the business card, and when he's searching for his missing brother, he found a business card there too. So he ends up sneaking it and then going undercover as a pink. So now it's time for the next game. They're all told to pick a shape, but without knowing the game, it's basically a random choice. Turns out it's a game called Honeycomb, where you've got a shape baked into this thin cookie, and you've got to use the needle to get it out of there without breaking. And unfortunately for our hero, he picked the umbrella, by far the most complicated shape, basically a death sentence. So our players all get to work, and of course if you mess up, you're instantly killed. Things look grim for Gi-hun, but he figures out if you lick the cookie to moisten it, it loosens it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how you're supposed to do it. And so Gi-hun lives another day. At the next mealtime, the players are given almost nothing, so the tough guys go for seconds. When this guy stands up to him, he gets a beating. In fact, he killed this guy, but the pinks do nothing to stop it. They just bring in a coffin and add more money to the pig. So everyone realizes if killing other players is allowed, tonight's gonna get wild. Yeah, the front man's right for it. He calls it the bonus game, and after lights out, till the murder spree begins, it descends into all-out chaos. After a bit though, the pinks do stop it, but it's become all the more important to build a strong alliance. Indeed, the next game is a team game. Crazy Girl just had sets with Gangster Guy to get on his team, but now he's like, "Yo, I want the 10 strongest dudes." And she's like, "Wait, you mean the 9 strongest dudes plus me, right?" But no, he totally betrayed her. "I didn't care about you at all, girl." So he's made an enemy for life. But for the next game, strength is important, cause it's tug of war. And as you might imagine, losing team falls to their deaths. Things look bleak for our heroes who have an old man and a bunch of girls. But old man's a ringer. He's like, "I used to be a tug-of-war champ. It's not about strength, it's about technique." He teaches them how to line up on alternating sides of the rope and how for the first few seconds you don't pull, you just hold and let them wear themselves out. But even with great technique, they're still gonna lose, so smart Sang-woo has a crazy plan to take step forward so they fall down, then they're able to pull up off and win. Now for some subplots, there's something going on with one player who's working with the pinks. Yeah, he's a doctor and they're harvesting the dead bodies for organs to sell on the black market. By random chance, our detective took the identity of one of the pinks in on it, and pretty soon his cover's blown. But that was lucky because soon the rest of them are discovered and executed. So the detective is searching the records for his brother but can't find him because turns out his brother was from a previous year's game where he was the winner? What? But now it's on to the next game, and this one's played as partners. But there's an odd number of players left, and everyone assumes the odd man out's getting eliminated. So Gi-hun feels bad for his first friend in here. Come on, old man, it's you and me. The odd personality is Crazy Girl. Sucks to be her. The playing field is this big neighborhood, and the game is marbles. Everyone's feeling really good. They partnered with their best friend in this place and are feeling confident that we can go to the end together. But the rules are announced. You're not playing with your partner, you're playing against them. Oh, that is brutal. Everyone picks the person in here they like the most. So most teams play a luck-based guessing game, although technically any game is allowed. Ali's never played marbles before, but beginner's luck. He starts beating Sang-woo. But pretty soon Sang-woo's like, hey, hold up, man. I've got a genius plan that we can both live. Before it to work, you're gonna have to give me your marbles for a second so I can tie them into a weird pouch to hang around your neck. Now you go off and scout the other teams. I'll see you at the end. Old man, meanwhile, is having a dementia moment. He doesn't fully understand what's happening, but his marble instincts kick in and pretty soon he's winning. But just when he's gonna get Gi-hun's last marble, he's like, oh, I forget. Did I bet even or odd? Oh, Gi-hun, are you gonna lie to this old man and cheat to save yourself? Yes, he does. It's heart-wrenching, but I mean, what choice does he have? Saebok paired up with this other girl and they spend the time just talking about their lives. And at the end, the other girl forfeits. She's like, yeah, I don't have much lip war out there. You gotta go and rescue your brother. Ali's out scouting other teams as part of Sang-woo's undisclosed genius plan. But at the end, Ali discovers that if he has no marbles left, oh, Sang-woo completely took advantage of distrust to save himself. This episode is a tear-jerking masterpiece. And as for old man, turns out he was faking the dementia. He knew what was happening. He's like, it's okay, Gi-hun, I forgive ya. You're not best friend, man. Thanks for being nice to me. Take this marble and have a good life. By the way, Crazy Girl was not eliminated. She just got to have a nice nap. Great to be her. But now we're getting close to the end, and it's time for the VIPs to come watch in person. Yeah, there's no higher purpose to these games. A bunch of rich assholes just want to bet on people's lives. For the next game, the players get to choose the order they play in. There's a mad rush for the middle, which seems the safest, but Gi-hun hesitates too long. He's down to first or last. Without knowing what game you're playing, it's an impossible choice. Either one could be a death sentence. Luckily, this guy makes it for him. He's like, hey man, I'll play first. And so the game is walk across these glass panels. In each row, one is tempered glass that'll hold ya, and the other is not. Yes, you want to be as far back as possible. He unlucked out. Soon the players realize you can push other people to figure out which glass will break. This is great news for the thug Duck Zoo, who's like, I'm not taking another step. Y'all gotta go past me. And they are on a time limit, so they gotta try. But turns out right behind that guy is Crazy Girl. Fancy seeing you here. She's like, hey, no problem, I'll go first. But she turns around and grabs him into bear hug. Screw you, man, and yeets them both off the edge. Now, by extremely good luck, the guy in front of our main characters was a glassmaker. He could tell the panels apart. This room's the fun for the VIPs though, so the front man turns off the light. Oh, he can't jet the glare anymore. And with time winding down, Sang-woo's like, sorry, bro. Oh, pushes this guy, and our guys are able to make it off just in time. The glass explodes right behind them with no concern for their safety. In fact, Saebok gets hit real bad. But now Gi-hun confronts his old friend like, yo, Sang-woo, you pushed that guy. That wasn't cool. But Sang-woo's like, pull yourself together, man. It's kill or be killed in here. I'd kill you if I have to. In fact, you're a huge loser. Wow, okay, not friends anymore. Meanwhile, undercover detective was gathering evidence. He finally escapes and goes to send it, but there's no signal. At the edge of a cliff, he's captured by the front man who reveals his identity, and he is missing brother. What? It said you won, why'd you end up working for him? But we don't get any answers as this guy, shoots his brother off the cliff. Yeah, who knows what's up with this guy? He's just really dedicated to his job, I guess. So now we're down to the final three. They all get a fancy steak dinner before the game tomorrow, but when they clear their plates at the end, they leave the steak knife. So that night they get no sleep as Gi-hun's worried Sang-woo's gonna kill him. He makes an alliance with Saebok like, hey girl, we've been through a lot, I trust you. In fact, they make a promise, if only one of them gets out, they'll take care of each other's families. When Sang-woo falls asleep, Gi-hun's like, maybe I should go kill him now, but Saebok's like, hey man, don't, you're a good person, stay that way. Just then though, she passes out, yeah, she's losing a lot of blood, and Gi-hun goes like, hey, we need a band-aid over here. But they don't bring a band-aid, they bring a coffin, cause Sang-woo was faking asleep. He killed her! Oh, it's so sad. Gi-hun's ready to kill his friend now, but it's gotta wait till the final game. And you knew it had to happen. The final game is Squid Game. Squid Game was apparently a popular Korean kids game, so named because it's played on a court that's shaped like a squid said. Basically, one player has to get inside the different parts of the squid, and anything goes, there's no fouls. And so it dramatically reigns for the final round, as it devolves into an all-out, muddy, bloody brawl. In the end, Sung-woo has the upper hand. Sorry, old friend, but I choose me. But old Gi-hun manages to turn the tables on him. Oh, bam! Does not kill his friend, though. And so, as Gi-hun walks to the end zone, looks like he's gonna be the winner. But he stops just short, has a crisis of conscience. Wait, why am I doing this? I vote to end the games. He's like, come on, old buddy, things got crazy in here, but let's go home. Sang-woo's like, wow, Gi-hun, you're a better man than me. So he, kills himself. Oh man, after all his betrayals, now sacrifices himself so his friend can leave with the money. It's a bitter victory for our hero, and he doesn't get a party, he's just dumped on the side of the road again. But this time with a debit card, and the Squid Game people kept their word, he's now stinkin' rich. But there's no joy in it for him. He feels bad about Sang-woo's death, and even worse because his own mom died while he was in there. So 1 year later, Gi-hun has grown out a gross depression beard. He's got all his money in a savings account, but never touches if he feels too guilty. One day he's contacted by the Squid Game, and he's meeting someone at the top of this building. It is his old man friend! Yeah, turns out he was the creator of the Squid Games all along. You crazy old man, why would you do this? Well, basically, he was just filthy rich and bored. Poor people's lives didn't mean anything to him. His brain tumor's real though, so he decided to play in this last game just for kicks. And in fact, right then, he does die, so Gi-hun's like, I'm gonna be better. First things first, he goes for a haircut so he can look presentable again. But he fails when he dyes it bright red. But he does finally keep his promise to Se-bak and adopts her little brother, gives him to Sang-woo's mom in fact, along with a suitcase full of cash. Then he's off to the airport. He's going to America to see his daughter. But wait, what's this? Squid Game's still recruiting new players. Yes, it did not die with the old man. Frontman's gonna keep it going. They're like, hey man, take the money and live your life, leave us alone. But Gi-hun does not get on his plane. He's on a mission to stop the games for good. And that's where Squid Game Season 1 comes to an end.